fight fans. So we got ourselves Beniel Dariush has made a couple of comments regarding Michael Chandler. And one of those comments, he has said that he will not and this is not a quote. I have no idea what his exact words were. I do know he was talking a lot of stuff about Michael Chandler, but he is definitely not agreeing with the fact that the UFC may give Michael Chandler another title fight, another championship fight. And, at the same time, you cannot disagree with the UFC. That's just my personal opinion, guys. At the end of the day, you got to think about it at the UFC business standpoint. No disrespect to Beniel Dariush, but unfortunately, he is not on that radar of the fans. He may have some fans. He may have a great deal of fans. But if you put his fans against Michael Chandler's fans, yeah, Michael Chandler has much more fans. Why is that? Because Michael Chandler has faced a lot more popular and more dangerous opponents than Beniel. Michael Chandler has a very, very fun fight style than Beniel. Michael Chandler is also a businessman than other UFC lightweights are, not just Beniel. So when that title fight went down with Khabib and Justin Gaethje, they needed somebody to possibly fill in just in case something went wrong and one of those guys was not able to fight. And Michael Chandler raised his hand and he said, "Hey, I'll do it." Never been in the UFC, first time ever, and his first time could have been a replacement fight. Well, he raised his hand and he made it happen. Of course, nothing happened. Justin Gaethje, Khabib went down, and later on, he got the Dan Hooker fight. But the UFC saw that and say, "Hey, we got a guy here that's willing to, take fights on short notice, that's willing to step up to the plate, that's willing to do whatever we ask him to do." And he's very entertaining in this fight style, and he's very good on the mic. And I'm not all just saying that because I am a Michael Chandler fan, very big Michael Chandler fan. Again, he's always in very exciting fights, and I definitely love that. But it's also true, because you look at all the facts. It doesn't really necessarily matter that the fact that his last fight, his last 4 fights, he is now 2-2 in the UFC. And his 2 victories are over Tony Ferguson and Dan Hooker, who have a combined total of 1 win and 9 losses. Fine. You can say whatever you want to say about that regarding that. That's 100% okay. But right now, he is going into a fight with Dustin Poirier. And we got Beniel Dariush going against a fight against Gamrot. Now, again, guys, unfortunately, no disrespect to Beniel Dariush. He was supposed to fight Islam Makhachev, I believe this year in February, but I believe he got hurt. Then the fights got moved around, and now he is here gonna be fighting in Abu Dhabi October 22nd against Gamrot. Michael Chandler, he had that crazy knockout over Tony Ferguson. I believe it was in May. Excuse me, and now he's going against another possible fight of the year against Dustin Poirier, who is 100% game. We already know Dustin Poirier. He's never in a boring fight himself. So you look at both of those fights, who would you give the title shot more? Yes, we've seen what happened with him against Charles Oliveira. That was an exciting fight, honestly. It only went 2 rounds, and that was one hell of a fun fight. And he was actually that close to winning against Charles Oliveira. He was that close. It wasn't like he just got dominated. He got caught. He got clipped with that little hook that Charles Oliveira landed on him, on his chin, and he was able to stop him. And hey, more power to him. He won the fight fair and square. That was that. But it was still a very good fight and a very close fight because, Michael Chandler had him in that first round and pretty close to stopping him. Pretty close. So yeah, would you want to see that again? Absolutely, of course, because we already seen what happened now. Of course, we still got that fight, that title fight with Islam versus Charles Oliveira. I'm not saying Charles Oliveira could win. And then, of course, you got Islam. Could he potentially give title shot to Michael Chandler? I don't see why not, because you would definitely want some star power. And Michael Chandler has that star power. Unfortunately, no disrespect to Beniel. But Beniel, his own real known victory is over Tony Ferguson, and it was a decision win. It was a high, intense grappling match. Now, I definitely would be very interested if Islam just so happens to win this belt, and it is Beniel versus Islam, and that would actually be an interesting fight, an interesting grappling match, because you got Beniel, who is a very high grappler, and then, of course, we already know about Islam. So that would be interesting, sure. But again, you cannot blame the UFC for wanting to give Michael Chandler another fight, another title shot, because of his action fights, because of the way he presents himself in the media and on social media, and then also when it comes to him being on the mic and his personality. You know, it's just all around. He is that one package that you want as a businessman. You know, you look at him, it's just like, yeah, I could definitely sell this guy. But Neil, it would be pretty difficult to sell, unfortunately. It's not his fault. It's just sometimes that's just the way things work. But what do you guys think? Do you think that's right? Do you think it's fair that Michael Chandler gets another title shot? Or do you think that the UFC, hey, they see something in this guy, they want something in this guy, you know what, let's make something happen in this guy. And that's what they see, and that's what they're going to go with. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.